for pace. Back to Stampede. Continues to extend his increment. It's now up to 30, nearly 13.5 seconds over George Russell, who's quite happy out there. Yuki Tsunoda running in third still. Lando Norris behind, as we've been saying. This really is one of the closest battles on the track right now that we continue to see.
Lando now full pit stop behind Verstappen, such as the comfort and ease that Verstappen has been able to pull away in free air. There's 21 seconds now behind the Red Bull, and Charles Leclerc still stuck out behind that Racing Bulls. I mean, the Racing Bulls clearly slippery enough in a straight line that they're not able to get the move done. At no point has he even looked like he's had a sniff down the inside.
No, and you have to say it's been a great drive so far from Ian Lawson and indeed Isaac Hadjar, who is actually the car behind Charles Leclerc with about 16 seconds back at the moment. Right, as we get into the middle sector, this is the man that is leading by over 13 seconds. We'll head down to the pit wall, Bernie.
Yes, Harry, and indeed, what has Verstappen shown us about the performance of this hard tyre? He managed a little bit at the start just to get the performance life out of it, but now he's able to push on and show a really, really strong lap time. And that gives us confidence for what Norris can do in his final stint. I have a strategy graph showing that there's a good chance he can break that hard tyre, push it, and get some overtake it done towards the end. So do not rule Norris out of this race. And the main reason for that, as Corinne mentioned, was Lawson holding McLaren nicely behind him. So let's see when McLaren finally rolls it down, how much progress Norris can make it back to the
Bernie, if you were at McLaren, we're looking at Randy Singh, their sporting director, or racing director on the pit wall. If you were McLaren, when would you pull the trigger? Do you want to give him enough laps to get the overtaking done, or do you still just keep extending and try and hope he's got a bigger tyre offset compared to the other cars?
Yeah, it's a very fine margin between the two, Corinne, really. I think you need somewhere in the region of 10 to 15 laps, so only once the race we're very quickly approaching that point now. So the common laps, the only thing I don't have visibility of is what their radar is saying. Now, if the radar is only very, very light rain, they can still get that fresh hard tyre on, having it hot would still be an advantage over those who's trying to overtake.
Okay, I can't say very opposite of what we want. They are not going anywhere. There's no arms crossed, there's no stretching happening either.
A lot of the people on the pit wall just watching the TV like we are, see that branch on the track. You only need to sneeze and the race director pulls a red flag this weekend, or at least a safety car. I just wonder whether they might be thinking about a little branch that's been blown onto the track, and whether they might want to keep the safety car. Listen, we'll see, but it's exactly what the likes of Lando Norris, Yuki Tsunoda, and George Russell are waiting for. I'm just wondering, just about Lando Norris and McLaren, it's all about big points. It's only big points today that will do two things. First of all, get them the 9 points they need on Ferrari to win. They're not that bothered now that and it's only big points that will help Lando Norris in his big opportunity of Drivers' Championship
outside the top 10. See how this all shakes out. Liam Lawson still having the pressure applied by Charles Leclerc. Actually, he's just dropped it back.
Leclerc not within DRS though. Look at the gap there.
Hej då, du får gå samtidigt som du gör det.
So, and I was saying before, Williams space is genuinely competitive. Points table on the left slightly deceptive because we haven't had some of the cars peaking yet, so we'll see how that shakes out. We're fairly confident unless something dramatically wrong for Max Verstappen. He is on course for another 25 points.
Gabriel Bortoleto, the Brazilian in the Sauber, making 13th place his, overtaking with the aid of DRS. And Ocon is not yet done being overtaken as he tries to defend the two Sauber. Lets his teammate through the looks of it as the Williams and Albon slides down the inside of Esteban of the Hazard.
Nej, för han vill inte ha.
Albon making his way through on Esteban.
Alltså det var för gott, jag kunde inte låta han smaka, jag måste äta.
Esteban Ocon got repeated twice, didn't he? The first two laps of the early safety car, and he seems to be struggling now with the cars around it. Oh no! Timing tower on the left. That is critical to keep an eye out for when it comes out of turn 15. So without a curve, rising slightly uphill through these kinks around the back of the track. For 15, in the barrier yesterday. Now this is where he's got it. This is the detection point he's going through now. And I think he again just over the 1 second mark. It's such a challenge. It's such a challenge to be able to follow the car in front through that section around the back as you wind around the old town and the town section. And yeah, Leclerc again, no DRS on this video.
You sit so long behind the
Vem är
car,
känd?
that he starts to eat up the tyres. Closes in on the braking once more, but the traction is for basic rules. Mighty for him. Just able to pull away. Leclerc has closed now though once more into the DRS zone. Rear wing flat, eyes open, heading down towards turn 2. And unless it's a very late dive, it's not happening. There's more action further back down inside the wheel of behind the wheel of Alex Albon down the inside of
Du borde bara tänka efter. Ja, jag kanske ska tänka. Låt mig tänka. Låt det gå ett varv i huvudet innan jag
Gabriel Bortoleto, his teammate, just sailed past Hulkenberg up into 12th. Albon follows through. Hulkenberg 14th now.
And if you can get closer to Tsunoda, we can
So, if you can get closer to Tsunoda ahead, he's 2 seconds back. He's 2 seconds back at the moment is Norris on the medium tyre. Can he make that undercut work?
Yeah, I think from a little bit closer he could definitely make the undercut work, but McLaren are good at this game, Harry. McLaren are very good at this game. They often say these radio messages and then encourage the person in front to pit first, then they get a nice bit of clean air, and that's exactly what Norris needs in order to be able to open that all-important pit window to Leclerc and Lawson. So let's watch this space on McLaren. The undercut is on, but that might not be actually what they want to go for. Really, just when we were talking about Leclerc struggling to get by Lawson there, I was having a look through their telemetry, which is available to me on the pit wall, Harry, this weekend. And the car's a lot faster at the end of the straight. And Lawson appears to be clipping a little bit, so his engine's deviating a little bit. Still not enough for Leclerc to get past.
I think Leclerc made a mistake down at turn 1. He looked quite close on the way in and dropped back a bit there, so just a little bit wide. Lewis Hamilton is pitted in the other Ferrari, so he's come back out 6.5 seconds behind Charles Leclerc. Now, this is important for McLaren to keep an eye out for. I'm still looking in their pit garage. There's a little bit more movement. Some mechanics starting to pick up their helmets now. Yeah, in fact, I can see all the mechanics putting their helmets on. So, McLaren will be getting ready to call Lando Norris in soon.
Yeah, Lando Norris needs some remaining McLaren driver. Let's make a bit of gain on Tsunoda like last time around. 2 second mark. Charles Leclerc now up into 8th spot, but still behind Liam Lawson, which is the car in front. As we have a glance out of our commentary box, you can see the McLaren team confirming
De är inte
the pit stop
viktiga kompis.
imminently for Lando
Pappa.
Norris. Here he is.
Yeah, so where is he going to come up? Lawson, Leclerc. We know he's going to have cars that are 17 laps newer than what Charles Leclerc's got, and that is what McLaren's using.
Ni hoppar fan bäst.
Men mamma, vad får jag till klockan 2? Det är jättetidigt.
Charles Leclerc gets ahead of Lando Norris. He'll come out now of the pit lane. He'll be on that fresher rubber and being on the hard tyre till the very end.
The 2 seconds there, so critical. He would have cleared this particular battle. That is massively frustrating for McLaren and Lando. Didn't really see where the issue was. The rear jack seemed to still be holding the car up in the air, but we couldn't see there was an issue with one of the rear tyres from that angle. I think maybe the front right was where the problem was. Anyway, such frustration for Lando Norris. It was the front left, I think, in Monza, wasn't it? And on this occasion, it seems like the front right. Let's keep an eye on it here. So he's come into the pits with the rear angle. Where are the cars still up in the air?
Yeah, but there was a last minute.
Jag har inte heller någon.
This is him coming in.
Men någon har en mobil.
Oh yeah, struggling to get the wheel. So the tyre's gone on, but they've struggled to tighten up the wheel nut again, and that's costing those two positions off track.
Costly pit stop for Lando Norris. There now finds himself behind Charles Leclerc. Hamilton is the driver behind him. 19 seconds, the average time lost. Quick and simple. For Sonoda to get him back into this race, and crucially ahead as Sainz goes through, Antonelli goes through. We look to Liam Lawson, who will make his way through turn 1 now. The man who replaced Lawson at the big team earlier on this year just gets ahead, but there'll be another DRS zone. For the Japanese driver, Lawson with the aid of DRS as well.
Nej, det där var inte jag.
Possibly fighting for their F1 careers to the end of the season, and it's Lawson who gets the jump
Pappa, jag vill ha
on
Nokia.
Sonoda, who
Men
now
du vet att de är omstartade.
Jag hade Nokia när jag var liten. Jag ska inte göra det. Men det är samma
He's got to watch all of that unfold. See Sonoda come out in front of him. It would have worked if the pit stop was 2.2 like Sonoda. It would have worked.
Nej, det var där.
For Lawson, a little bit of
Jag har
relief in
två,
the
pappa.
battle against Leclerc, isn't
Jag har
it?
två nu.
Lawson has broken off.
Inte hemma också.
Pappa, den är unbreakable.
And that's because
Men den är inte, den kommer inte sig.
Lando Norris.
Mamma, är du redan
Charles
unbreakable?
Leclerc. What he was saying, he's going to have to do take the on track. I think some of it's coming up. An 18 lap set to Charles Leclerc. And he's right there in the other zone.
round the last proper corner as George
Nej, chokladbollar.
to the pit lane. This is going to be incredibly tough. Russell gets in and out in 2.3 seconds.
Men det smakar inte ens gott. Alltså, det smakar inte, alltså, det är basic. Choklad, det där är mine. Det där är
Lando Norris though, with the help of DRS, can he slide it down the inside? No, the braking zone comes too soon. Wrapping their way through the left-hander, Russell emerges out in second spot in this race ahead of Carlos Sainz. Antonelli now fourth, there is Liam Lawson first in picture. In fifth, Yuki Tsunoda in sixth, and we've got on board 8th place man, Lando Norris, looking at the back of the Charles Leclerc.
So everyone is Verstappen has now pitted. That's why they have called him in. He's got a massive 82-second lead over George Russell. Red Bull
So
to
he
take
has
his
a
time,
now.
get a
We'll
nice
save his
pit
end.
stop. He should be
We'll
fine.
give you one.
He's not
Låna till
really
Instagram.
scored 4 points. He remains in 8th place. It is so critical for him.
Okej, jag kan köpa en morgon.
Det var därför vi såg 6
On that one,
I måste
he is
ju
as
bort
much as he
från
can.
Ja, men jag lånar 500
That's it. I tell you what, it has stacked up well for George Russell.
Vem? Hur mycket? Hon baxar. Hon lånar
Carlos Sainz, that overcomes
Så där gjorde min mamma också. Hon tog 5 000 från mitt konto.
straight line speed is actually its strongest asset around here in Baku. Max Verstappen
5 000.
Nej, men typ kanske
outside the Red Bull garage,
1 och 2
2.4
kanske.
seconds.
You need to
Hon
let
bara, jag ska köpa medicin för
Becoming a mighty
Och exakt, jag fucking köpte typ
once again
Dina pengar.
demonstrating his
Jag
might.
lånar 400.
Vilken
kladdkaka är mycket mer
vilken hand?
Really?
Ja, men kladdkakan måste ju bli
Liam Lawson is just
Det tar
It's
Withdraw.
No, I have not.
with Charlotte
Send it to me, please.
Och våra ställningar de sa att vi
150. You must be one.
Vet du, de är simsvåra.
You need to pay him.
the Ferrari down
No, nej.
You told you to take it out from the
Ja, jag tror pappa.
Yes, send it to me.
Pappa,
I'm
det
not
är
done.
10 laps.
Nej, du får göra själv. Yeah, you will.
Pappa, det är 10 laps.
Yeah.
Ja, det var det så.
Absolutely within his reach on those fresh, hard tires. And
Du måste springa dina över.
position that
Eller bara se på alla. De är simkonto. Mamma, innan du går och handlar, då blir det 700. Nej, mer pappa. Hur lång tid tar det att åka hela?
1 minute 41.
Two cars on the podium. We saw it back in Canada.
Baby
One
minutes.
three there for Russell and Nelly.
Får jag se?
At the moment,
Får jag se, Ruben? Får jag se vad vill du ha?
Nelly is just catching back up. 6/10 on the last lap on science.
Okej, vilken hand?
is an attack on the entry to the pit lane. George Russell hits the pit limiter, hits his marks,
Man checkar man.
Killen för matten på armdöpning.
and gets going. Sets on his way again on that medium tyre now. The overcut working for Russell. And there goes Carlos Sainz with Kimi really behind. I think this
Jag har bra massor. Alltså, jag har inte bra.
Jag har bra.
Lite. Jag får ta
Men
lite.
det är faktiskt en match. Jag
Sainz.
men vet du vad som händer?
Water result from the highest
Lite.
pit stop for Lando Norris. As he
Det är den här.
Oh.
Jag fick så.
Jag gjorde så. Nu gjorde jag då. Ge mig det.
Carlos is smart enough to know he's not going to race Russell at this point. The gap's 2.8 seconds.
Oh.
He just need to focus on this. A bloody comeback in.
Yeah, I was just going to say that pit stop very crucial role for Lando Norris there.
Och jag tar den. Jag tar den.
Wide. Behind Lawson, Keep Lawson the entire first stint on similar tires. And now
Oh, kill it.
Wow.
to the back of that Russell.
Okej, killen på kär Andri.
Carlos
Jag sa inte jag kommer förlora för jag har kramp.
Nej, jag kommer.
Jag har kramp.
I think he will get past Lando.
Oh, kill it.
Turn 16 as if now we didn't need a little bit more excitement to bring in
Oh.
these closing stages. We had to wait a little bit on this middle stint just to see how it all petered out after the pit stops. But it's coming together nicely now. Verstappen out and well into the lead of this race by over 10 seconds. But George Russell and Carlos Sainz still behind, staring at a podium. But even more importantly, staring at big signs
Så
of
bra
Williams.
tackling,
It's
tjejen.
proper.
Det där var en riktigt bra tackling.
For him and his new This is Liam Lawson, there's Yuki Tsunoda, they're battling over 5th and 6th, but it's so much more than that. Liam Lawson, who was in the Red Bull at the start of the year, looking promising World Championship hopes.
Ja, ska jag också visa mina muskler?
After just 2 races, in comes Yuki Tsunoda, and he didn't make it work either. But they're both running inside the top 6, they're both fighting. Is this more than just business? Tsunoda and Lawson in 5th and 6th, while they do battle, it's almost behind Hamilton Now up into
Vad ska
eighth spot.
Det är bara fett.
Ja, här.
Tonight, there is a tire offset there though. Hamilton on the medium. Charles Leclerc
Kolla
on the
Bolitas
hard
då.
tire with Hadjar.
Det här är min farbror.
He had
Det ser ut att leka.
Ja, varje gång jag ska sova och de ska snacka med så gjorde jag alltid så. Jag låtsas
offset Ferrari. It seems a sensible thing there for Leclerc not to fight him too hard. Let's see if Hamilton can, close on the back here. Like gap 2.4.
Jag är så stark alltså.
Lewis is going to be in this fight. He's got 8 laps to go. He's absolutely going to be on the back of this fight. And I think it was a good one there for Leclerc.
Did look rather easy.
He made it. But
Ja, jag är fett stark.
there's so many
Yes.
interesting dynamics in this battle. You talk about the
Jag
losses
var
in
min
the dynamic.
Va?
Landis needs to clear them, but in a safe way because he's got a championship to
De
think
bara,
about.
nej du, jag kommer klara
Lewis,
fallet.
who's coming
Inga
on the
killar
back of him
mer
as
vill
well,
möta mig.
is a
Jag
fun
vet inte
seven
om så
laps
mycket
to go.
mer.
Also, let's
Gillar
had
också.
a nice quiet race as well.
Bambuka!
Nej men jag svär, han hade typ såna här muskler. Jag
Just
bara,
outside of a
what
fourth
the fuck är det här för
position,
muskler?
continuing to show his good form along with that
Nej, det får
sound
tyst
time,
med
leaps and bounds as the
Noah.
Ruben,
to get
jag
the
kör.
edge of Nico Hulkenberg as it stands right now in the Constructors' Championship. Sealed by McLaren with Norris
Jag såg
in
det innan.
seventh. Closing up to
Du hade
the
så
back.
lite stor
Yuki
direkt.
Tsunoda.
Då säger han
Tsunoda
något med
really
det.
struggling to find
Du
his
sprang efter bollen
through.
sen.
Liam Lawson here.
De målvakt. Jag såg
The
det.
next
Vad är det?
DRS.
Men vad?
Line will come. I think Norris is closing.
Alltså vet du vad min
Jag
nya
säger
mål
bra.
vet du vad min nya mål? Vi säger att jag kommer göra målet. Jag gör mål så. Och sen kommer jag gå ner och slå bra.
Driving well, not putting a wheel
Så man
out
får
of place.
Ja, jag kommer be för mitt
Keeping his
mål.
head down, holding on.
Så jag kommer kolla, exakt så här kommer jag göra som han
Such a good job
är.
of soaking up
Men
pressure,
skjuta.
doesn't he? You
Sen
think
kommer
the
jag gå
first
ner.
hit he had
Och sen kommer jag
all
gå
on the back of it.
Han då. Det är
They-
övrigt.
they
Ja, men
contributed
vi kommer
a
upp
lot
på
of
det.
damage, had a good
Jag
extra
kommer
run,
be för min
good
där.
to 16, and then you're not
Men
vulnerable
om jag
to
blir stor
attack.
ska vi få.
He's done the same thing here. So he's really made sure he gets a nice clean
Jag
run.
trodde
Och då kommer jag...
15 and
Jag visste
16.
det.
Jag får alltid faktiskt hemma.
Good save from the car
sen-
behind. So
kommer jag göra en
good, smart driving.
Icke kvar. Icke kvar.
Fast Real Madrid.
Two Alpine.
Real Madrid eller
Move
Barca?
to 18th and 19th. Gasly on the medium.
Hear me
Real
out.
Madrid eller Barca?
Jude Bellingham.
That move looks like
Hear
it's
me
to come,
out.
between the two Alpine teammates. Colin
Fuck,
Pinto
vadå?
was
Hey, hey, hey.
a nice ride of it to begin with, but then
Nej,
it's
bara
another
håll.
big run away by Alex Albon in the middle of this race. Albon received the
Hear me
penalty
out.
for that.
Hear me out. Ronaldo
Tsunoda in sixth, chasing Liam Lawson. Tsunoda himself being chased by Lando Norris, who is desperate to try and get some big points. Here is Tsunoda's going to be the one to try and dive down the outside line. Lawson defends as they rock it down towards turn two. We saw very similar racing like this right at the end of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix last year between Carlos Sainz and Sergio Perez, and they ended up in the wall. Fine margins here. Lando Norris needs to pick up points no matter what. They'll be wanting to pounce on the
Yes.
first team.
Alltså jag kommer
Du
köra.
kan inte dricka.
Jag kommer blocka det. Har mamma gått?
0 points.
Yeah.
Vänta, vi kör andra.
Norris is 7th with Hamilton.
Emily, you must be strong.
at 9th, 10th.
So massive day for the
Du
champion.
får 1000 om du
He's doing the job.
Ta det nu, ta det nu, ta det nu. Jag vet inte, han
Yes, he's on
Okej,
the
vi kör.
tires.
1000 om du vinner.
Antonelli
Alltså,
behind.
men Pinky,
Antonelli, the
han
guy
den
who
bra
invented
den
this,
som
is
vinner.
widening a bit.
Jag kommer
Antonelli from 1.5
Jag ska
now
ha
to
det.
1.8 behind Carlos Sainz. So fantastic driving from Carlos Sainz, keeping that
Nej,
in,
då.
in that Mercedes sandwich, but ahead of the young Italian.
Don't forget,
Nej.
folks, in the driver of the day. And right now, we have to say we've not seen much of it, and for good reason. Max Verstappen is by over 13 seconds.
faktiskt ända fast med.
Det blir 5 meter på armbågen. 5 meter på armbågen.
Kom, vi går och går.
Det får ju inte skärmskriv.
Just ahead of it, bringing Charles Leclerc along as
Jag
well.
frågar precis som svarar
Between
inte.
those two a couple of laps ago. They are glued to each other right now, but they're not able to make a
Nej, jag gjorde
pass.
det.
Lawson still holds on
One
to
point,
the
okay?
10
One point.
points.
Det var Melodifestivalen
For
och
Liam
Eurovision
Lawson
där. Sen
currently
har du
with
fjärde
20 notched up.
Wow, wow. Mamma, kan jag få med framtid? Också jag frågade.
Baken. Men ja, du får ringa
Title fight in the mid-pack. But once again, Lawson holds on to it now.
Också mig, mamma. Jag har redan bett om det.
As you say, an important day for Racing Bull. And the day that Williams are going to back
Men svara ändå.
points. Racing Bull at the moment on course for 11. Lawson can hang on for the last 5 laps.
Har du högtalare?
He's within Chris having. The first time we saw him on a from turns 2 down to 3.
Det är som fått flytta det eller?
Ruben, pappa, heter han växelstapen? Pappa, heter han växelstapen? Vad? Sluta driva! Nej, kom på den efter. Jag behöver bara det för mig. De är så fina.
Jag ska med taxi. Alltså hur kan de ha blonda tjejer som fan, inte ens min bror har
Lobo Monitos också, idiot. Alltså på riktigt. Men de är inte, alltså
de är inte snälla och jag svär på handen på planen.
de är weird. De är weird. De är bara weird.
Jag kommer satsa när jag blir stor. Jag ska hitta någon, jag kommer satsa på mig.
Vad händer med Hamilton? Åh, Hamilton. Men ändå.
12. Jo, 12 är bra. Men hur mycket ska du göra? Kolla, vänta, jag ska berätta 18 är 225 gram.
Men får jag köra med?
4 och en halv.
Men jag joinar dig. Nej, men det går inte.
En och en halv deciliter.
Girl, kan du ge mig? Kan du ge mig bra?
Då ska fy fan också äta så mycket. Jag ska fan äta 18. Jag äter. Kan man dela 18?
Valtteri Bottas but picked up third place. Could they do it again for just a few laps time with Carlos Sainz behind the wheel? Bernie.
Ja, då får jag ner.
Sorry, this
Gäller vi köra.
by Lawson.
Är det någon som vill ha en kladdkaka?
Qualifying, but this defense. Extra cars on the protected that podium position for Carlos Sainz. Lawson, if we ever wondered of the
Vet du
relationship.
vad min mamma råkade göra? Hon trodde att min klämmor var
This is a test of it, isn't it?
1, 2, 3. Sen så stark jag är. Girl, I'm a strong girl.
It's not happened this week. And Lawson continues to defend. The longer you hold on to that, the better it is for Carlos Sainz.
Absolutely, Bernie. And we get the helmet camera shot once more from Lando Norris. The sheer speeds.
Varför så till Nelson nu?
Within inches of each other, over 330 kilometers an hour, but we're seeing a little bit of a change. You're going to want to make a move, you've got to be brave, you've got to be bold. But that's what to do it in turn one.
Alltså det spelar ingen roll. Det kommer hända hit.
I was impressed that Lawson, he's not got the benefit of DRS. The 3 cars behind him, look, the wings are all wide open. And yet, Lawson,
Får jag gå in
he's
i
not
stilla rummet?
defending, going to the middle, he's just
Ska jag joina dig?
good. Staying online, not doing anything really to jeopardize any corner exits. And that's been so important for him. Get that traction, launch out the corner. Look at the battery graphic on the rise. Formula cars are hybrids. They have been since 2014. You've got the battery that sits alongside the 1.6 litre internal combustion engine. That's notice on that graphic. So
Joina
there's
mig.
no
Jump
on
food.
that. Got none
Kan
of
ni
the
joina
he
dig?
will have to recharge that as quickly as possible.
Men hur ska jag veta när du är inne?
That'd be interesting when we get the start. Has Hamilton kept
Aha, okej.
reducing reserve to attack
Du vill
Lando?
inte ha 0 followers.
This is
the lowest lap on the track at the moment inside the top 10. Autoretto is the overtaker. For 3 points now. It's about 22 seconds, 23 seconds back. And then you've got to go back to the Alpine boys. Pull up into Gasly, 18th and 19th, running a race on their road. Right at the back, 19 cars in this one. Backing out what seems like a lifetime ago now. On lap 1, the championship leader picking up 0 points, which is why it's so crucial for Lando Norris, who, I don't know if that was my eyes playing tricks on me then. I thought it was DRS really close, a little too early coming into turn 1 compared to Yuki Tsunoda's, but once again they make their way through the first 90-degree left-handers and no moves are able to exchange. Meanwhile, it is Max Verstappen in a race of his own out in front. He's now led more laps this season than Lando Norris. Yesterday, putting it on pole position, making it 6 pole positions this season, the most of any. Andrea Stella has come out saying he's still in this title fight.
Varför gick du?
It is Max Verstappen, and we've called him out before, and to our detriment.
Order it is now.
Gå inte på förutsättning.
Jag vill inte förlora mina, jag har för bra.
Yeah, it's 69 points, Oscar. So yeah. Closing it. Exactly that.
Eller snubben. Vad är
Have you got me on here?
Got you, Bernie. How are you?
So yes, just to pick up on what Corinne was saying there, Norris did derail heavily into turn 1,
Vänta.
so that was the battery trying to regain some vital energy. So I watched his speed trees through this lap, but I think he is trying to get that battery up to speed to have a go in these final few laps.
Running out of time to do it though is Lando Norris. Every point will count in this 2025 championship battle with 3 Grand Prix to go and 3 sprints left to run in this season. Martin Garrix waiting with the flag with his good friend Max Verstappen. He will wave it for in just a lap or so's time. Had any of these ones here battling for 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, make any kind of move. Charles Leclerc is the Ferrari in the distance, just a bit out of this one. Can Yuki Tsunoda try and dive down late on the brakes? But Tsunoda will have in the back of his mind, desperate to score a decent result, desperate to take some big points home for Red Bull and for himself. He's currently the lowest scoring full-time driver in the standings. 6th place will help him bag crucial 8 points in his account for this season. To get into that little mark once again through to the old town. No moves to be done.
Yeah, we're going to get one big opportunity, isn't it? You know, Verstappen now to come past the start finish line and begin the final lap of the Grand Prix. So this phase of the lap.
Nej, Ruben, kom!
Jag behöver gå upp för att ge dig sakerna. Jag kommer inte ge dig.
They're harvesting, they're recovering energy, trying to top
Har du gjort den här jump
because they all realize
Ja, jag
you've
gör
got
den
to dump as much as you can on this run coming out at 16. Get the traction, make sure you launch yourself onto the straight. Verstappen, meanwhile, up at turn 2, comfortably, serenely on his way with a comfortable 14-second gap, and he's just done a new fastest lap for good measure. But I want to see the battle behind Lawson because they're on that run to turn 1 at this point.
They breeze past our commentary box. We get the look now. Tsunoda, much more defensive coming into turn 1 this time around. Lando Norris saving the battery. Last lap around with just a few more corners to do it. You can see that McLaren's so much more aggressive this time around. He knows he's running out of time. He's running out of corners. Lawson's managed to get away a little bit now from Tsunoda, who's nearly outside of DRS range. Crucially not. Can Lando pull alongside? No, he can't.
Oh, that's tough now. This is going to be... You're going to need a mistake for the car in front, but no mistakes for this man. He has been absolutely imperious all day long. It's a sort of vintage 2023, Harry, isn't it? Just a day where you don't see much. He's just dominated from the front.
Yeah, the usual Friday chat from Red Bull where you almost want to rule them out, but with just a few kilometres left to run, over 51 laps around these Baku city streets, it is Max Verstappen once more who shows his might, who shows his class and rises to the top again. The checkered flag is waiting for Max Verstappen, who wins the Azerbaijan Grand Prix in style as the Red Bull pit will celebrate. It's another win for Laurent Mekies' team principal, and what a ride as well for George Russell, unwell all weekend long, takes home second. And how about this? A bright smile from the team principal of Williams, Carlos Sainz, takes the final step on the podium in third, and his best result for his new team. And there is no change in this battle behind. Liam Lawson will be fifth behind Kimi Antonelli. Yuki Tsunoda crosses the line in sixth, with Lando Norris in seventh. The two Ferraris, eighth and ninth, with Isaac Hadjar stealing the final points-paying position in 10th place.
Well, it was a race where the drivers really, it became a strategic battle, didn't it?
Another great drive, Max. Fabulous.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yes, what an unbelievable race, guys. On fire. Don't compact. Really well executed. Really well done the whole weekend. Another incredible weekend for us. So, well done to everyone.
Du ben jag har redan joinat dig.
Row for Max Verstappen, and two in a row where he looked like he was just in a class of his own on Sunday. You know, I think in Monza with the McLarens didn't really have a chance to attack him. Carlos Sainz, winning driver of the day, and a great result for Nina Williams.
Yeah, you voted, and the Salesforce driver of the day goes to Carlos Sainz, who picks up his first podium for Williams, who had to make the move.
Gå in här.
Super job.
Ska jag få den snart?
Super drive today, George.
Du publiken, den ska ge dig en bra. Vill du ta en bra? Och sen om du får en bra nu.
Yeah, it's been a tough
Du får en
weekend
bra
for
nu.
George
Du får
Russell,
gå in
who
i
will be quite pleased to see his old team on the podium there with him. Carlos Sainz hasn't been
Alla
on the
kommer
podium since his final race
Är det dina?
for Ferrari last year.
Nelle! Han bredvid dig. Det är jag. Det är jag. Det är jag, Nelle. Det är jag, Nelle. Vad gör du?
And it's been a tough year for Sainz, getting up to grips with his new surroundings, and Alex Albon
Nelle, öppna!
flying, but here's the podium.
Nu får se jag vilken.
Best podium in my career,
Det
guys.
var
You
den
cannot
bästa
imagine how this pace.
Nej, inte den.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to say
Det finns en bättre.
this is my first smooth operation in Williams. And not the last. And not the last.
First and not the last, and that is brilliant for Williams in the Constructors' Championship, who now, well, they were in fifth anyway, they
Yeah.
solidified that.
Det är jag,
29
Nelson.
points clear now of Racing Bulls, who have also picked up good points this afternoon.
Okej,
But
vänta.
we had one moment where we had to wait and see what happened, but there was a lot of stories to tell inside the course of 51 laps of the Azerbaijan. Max Verstappen once again showing why he is the best in the world.
He is. I'm sure he'll enjoy watching the highlights of the race because he had no idea what was happening behind. He was absolutely in a world zone. He extended his stint so he never fell into traffic, never dropped behind anyone else, and just utterly dominated the Grand Prix. Started with qualifying, of course. You know, weekend we thought 5 drivers would be in the fight for pole. One of them stood absolutely head and shoulders above the rest and delivered that pole position lap by some margin. And that set him
Pappa,
up for
kommer
today.
han få en
Win,
pokal?
pole, fastest lap, led every lap.
Pappa, kommer han få
Another
en
Grand
pokal?
Slam for Verstappen, his 6th of his Formula One career. Ties with Lewis Hamilton's 2nd. It's only behind Jim Clark,
Hur mycket ska det vara?
celebrating there with the team. And that fastest lap of the race on lap 15. But his best smooth operation for Carlos Sainz.
Ruben!
He has not scored points of any kind as Carlos Sainz.
Sluta!
Canada 7 races ago. That's rocketed him up into
Låt mig vara.
in the Drivers' Championship. A much needed day for the Spaniards.
And ahead of both Ferraris, which would be a nice little side note for him. So, yeah, Carlos, it was nice to hear him say it's to be the best podium of his career. There he is, off to celebrate with the mechanics.
Wow. That's where more gonna win.
Låt mig gå ut!
Turn to the podium.
Låt mig gå ut!
Improving throughout the course of the last couple of years. They made a huge jump at the start of this year. They came into this race sitting with 86 points on the board. They've only scored 84 in the previous 7 seasons combined at Williams. And now they sit with over 100 points in the constructors. It's not where they want to be just yet. They want more. They want to be higher. But this is a great baseline for them. And George Russell as well to finish in second. Another podium on the board. Even feeling ill all weekend. Just highlighting what a great season Russell is having. Putting more pressure on those management and contract talks for next year. Lewis Hamilton 8th, Charles Leclerc 9th. The Ferrari able to deliver today.
They got stuck. I think the DRS train caught people by surprise. You know, this morning we spoke to several team members, Harry, didn't we? And they were all saying that actually overtaking should be quite good around here with the headwind and the DRS. There should be lots of opportunities. But as it transpired, we saw people getting stuck behind racing bulls, or we saw, you know, towards the end as well. Just that train of cars.
We'll see Isaac Haddock looking away as well. We'll hear from our top 3. For those of you watching on Sky Sports main event, we're going to say goodbye to you shortly.
Let's go, let me hold it.
Continues. We're going to send you to Sunderland against Aston Villa soon. If you want to stay with us for the conclusion and all the analysis for what we've seen unfold here in Azerbaijan, you can stay with us or head over to Sky Sports F1. A much needed glug of water. And that's what it means. They signed into that racing brain